Senior night for the Minot High School swim team. They will be hosting both Dickinson and Williston in a double dual event tonight. We will get rolling shortly. We'll start out with the change of pace singers from Minot High School singing tonight's national anthem. There are two swimmers in that group, Kaylin Hill and Cody Kranz, two of our captains. They'll be getting ready shortly. We'll turn it over to Coach Solper. Looks like he's getting ready to go on the mic.
We've got and we'd like to say thank you to Williston and Dickinson for making the trip. We are national anthem sung by the Change of Pace group here at City Campus. So if you have a cell phone, if you want to turn that to silent, please and remove any headgear for the singing of our national anthem.
That was Minot High School's change of pace singing group. Two of our senior captains, Kaylin Hill and Cody Kranz, are members of that group. You'll see Cody on the diving boards today, and you'll see Kaylin in the pool. Thank you very much for that beautiful rendition of the national anthem. We're just about to get started. We got to let the kids get back in their camps and get their warm-ups off and out, and we'll start tonight's meet with the 200-yard medley relay. We will have 2 heats of that. In the meantime, we'll do a little promotion.
Carson, timeout.
Who calls a timeout in this game?
Me, I'm icing the kicker.
Really?
It'll give us more time to talk about First Western Bank and Trust.
Like our convenient online banking.
Along with smart trust service options.
We're all about hometown service with bankers that know you and the community.
Okay, go ahead and kick.
I don't believe this.
First Western Bank and Trust. You can bank on us.
The 30-inch Galactic Pizza is out of this world. There's nothing like it anywhere else in Minot. Too much to handle? Try one of our famous large specialty pizzas like the Blue Buffalo. Get the best pizza in Minot and play some laser tag. At Planet Pizza, South Broadway, Minot.
The magic of what we do really comes down to combining different aspects of patient care. Here at Premier Chiropractic, we love combining soft tissue work, the adjustment, and exercises together. We found that this gets the best results for our patients. We have 3 chiropractors to fit the needs of the entire family, a rehab area for our exercises and equipment for any athlete to improve performance. Give us a call and we will get you back to doing what you love.
All right, welcome back to the pool. We're about to get started with the 200-yard medley relay, heat 1 of 2. Swimmers are in the pool. Again, medley relay, all 4 disciplines. Be led by the backstrokers, followed by the breaststrokers, then it's the butterfly and freestyle. In the pool right now in lane 1 is Dickinson, lane 2 is Minot E, lane 4 is Minot D, lane 5 is Williston B, and lane 6 is Minot Team F. Swimming in lane 1 right now for Dickinson is Alex Keller. In lane 3 for Minot is Tyler Burns. In lane 4 for Minot is Aaron Prestwich. Lane 5 for Wilson is Hunter Haugen. In lane 6 for Minot is Nathan Zeman. Now the breaststrokers are in the pool. Looks like we've got our lane 4 and 5 swimmers. That is lane 4, that's Ben Harris from Minot. In lane 5 is Zach Budd from Williston. Ben Harris touches first. In the pool in lane 3 for Dickinson is Asher Ellerkamp. In lane 2 for Dickinson. Lane 3 for Minot is Justice Amsbury. Lane 6 for Minot is Moroni Hale. Breaststrokers are finishing up in lane 4. Now entering the pool for Minot. Lane 4 is Brian Sherlock. For Williston in lane 5, it'll be Brayson Gilbertson. The next two entering the pool, lanes 2 and 3 respectively. That will be Mason Piatz of Dickinson in 2 and Braden Baldwin of Minot in lane 3. Out in lane 6, just entering the pool, is Alex Vecchio. Got a nice butterfly leg going by Bryson Gilbertson there for Wilson. He's cut into the lead that Brian Sherlock had. They're both touching. Wilson is into the pool. That's Nathan Hill in lane 5. Derek Oswald for Minot in lane 4. These two guys are going to battle out this 50 freestyle for this Heat 1 victory here. Now in the pool in lane 2 for for Dickinson is John Rood. For lane 3 in Minot is Caden Gutnick. Lane 6 for Minot is Andrew Moe. So it does look like Williston will take this first heat of 200 medley relay with a team time of 2:01.19. Members of that team are Hunter Haugen, Zach Budd, Brayson Gilbertson, and Nathan Hill. Then it was Minot B at 2:02.87. Then Minot D. Then it was Dickinson B at 2:10.62, Minot F at 2:17.59, and Minot E at 2:59, and Minot F at 2:22.10. This will take us to our second and final heat. In lane 1 will be Minot C, Caden Dodds, Griffin Osborne, Justin Moldenauer, and Connor Shaw. Lane 3 is Minot B, Kalen Hill, Oliver Rungen, Gannon Cowper, and Jamison Donahoe. Lane 4 for Minot A, Carter Larson, Logan Hill, Ryan Hubbard, Peyton Barch. Lane 5 for Dickinson A, Trent Irwin, Zach Kogel, Casey Toohey, and Davin Haig. In lane 6 for Wilson is Caleb Osborne, Hunter Hart, Ethan Babcock, and Tyler Jorgensen. One thing to note here from Minot in lanes 3 and 4, the second swimmers, the two breaststrokers. Bit of a swim off for them. Rungen and Hill in the breaststroke, trying to vie for that spot in this medley relay for the state team. Right now we've got in lane 4 for Minot leading the way. That is Carter Larson in the backstroke. Next to him in lane 3 is Kalen Hill, who you just heard sing the national anthem. Now entering the pool are the breaststrokers we talked about. That's Logan Hill, Kalen's younger brother, in lane 4, and Oliver Rungen in lane 3. We have Wilson swimmer out in lane 6. That's Hunter Hart. Hill touches first on that first turn. Really nice underwater there by Rungen. They are stroke for stroke coming in. They'll be coming in together. Hill with a little bit faster in the water here. Looks like Hill touch. Now entering the pool are your two butterfly. In lane 4 for Minot is going to be Ryan Hubbard. In lane 3 is Gannon Cowper. Then we've got our lane 6 Williston swimmer, Ethan Babcock, and our lane 2 Minot swimmer, Justin Moldenauer. Justin Moldenauer. Lane 5 is Dickinson's Casey Toohey. Last swimmer in the pool for Minot in lane 4 is Peyton Barch, bit of a specialist in this 50 free. In lane 3 from Minot is Jamison Donahoe. So Barch will touch first for Minot Team A in this 200 medley relay. Team time of 140.69. 21:64 split for Peyton in that last 50 free. Touching second was Minot's B at 149.37. Then it was Williston A at 151.91. Then Dickinson A at 156.82. And then finishing up in lane 2 is Minot C at 204.76. So winning team of the 200 medley relay is Minot Magicians A. Members of that team, backstroke Carter Larson, breaststroke Logan Hill, butterfly Ryan Hubbard, and freestyle Peyton Barch. Congratulations to those 4. Again, this is a double duel, so Williston and Dickinson are both swimming, so they'll be scoring against each other. So there'll be a team score for a Dickinson-Williston duel. There'll be a team score for the Minot-Williston duel, and there'll be a team score for the Minot-Dickinson duel. So it gets a little tough to score the diving. We probably won't have many results from the diving till after the meet, or might get those out on Twitter tomorrow morning or whenever we can get our hands on them. But we should be able to, you can check Meet Mobile, all the other events. They'll put them together, and then the gurus, Coach Jensen from the girls team, Coach Hubbard down there working on the computer. They'll be splitting those teams up to the scoring system to get all those final team scores for you. So we'll be moving on. Next event is the 200-yard freestyle. We will have 2 events of the 200-yard freestyle. It's an 8-lap event. Looks like we'll have 5 swimmers in this first heat. A couple seniors. Tonight is senior night for the Magicians. Someone lost their goggles. Bit of a diving expedition going on out in lane 6 right now. So we've got senior night for the Magicians. After the diving competition concludes, we'll have the recognition of those seniors. Coach Soper will have a little bit of announcement on each of them, and the boys will line up in their traditional tunnel, and honor the seniors as they walk through with some antics there. And then the parents will get to meet their child. Probably some tears flowing tonight. So this is heat 1 of 2 for the 200-yard freestyle. Heat 1, lane 2 from Minot, Garth Shanklin. In lane 3 is Minot's Alex Ricks. Lane 4 is Wilson's Charlie Hardcastle. Lane 5 is Alexander Keller of Dickinson. And lane 6 is Minot's Brandon Shabbat. Once again, 8 laps, all freestyle. Hardcastle from Williston into that first turn. About a half body length over the next 4 swimmers. Those being Ricks of Minot, Keller out in lane 5 of Dickinson, and Shabbat of Minot out in lane 6. And then not too much further behind, about a body length, would be Garth Shanklin of Minot. Like Shabbat has cut into that Hardcastle lead a little bit. They're about stroke for stroke. And then our Dickinson swimmer, Alex Keller and Alex Ricks, are stroke for stroke. And again, just on their toes is Garth Shanklin of Minot. They should be at the halfway point here. We've got Hardcastle at 101.03, Shabbat at 102.19, Keller at 102.23, Ricks at 102.56, and Shanklin at 103.39. Nice little surge there by Hardcastle. He's got a full body length on the field now, as he's in this third section of the 200-yard freestyle, finishing up his third 50. I'd like to welcome all of our viewers joining us from Williston and Dickinson tonight on tonight's PSP live stream broadcast of this Minot Williston Dickinson double duel. Hardcastle continues to extend his lead. He's got 25 yards to go on his turn. Then looks like we're going to have Keller out of Dickinson making the next turn. Then it'll be Ricks of Minot, followed by Shanklin of Minot, then Shabbat out in lane 6 of Minot. So Hardcastle coming in. He's going to come in that 208, 209 range probably. State qualifying for this event is 206.49. Charlie ends up at 207.53, just shy of that. That would have been a new qualifying time for him. Really nice swim. He'll be definitely cutting time as we get to the WDA meet in 10 days from now. So he's probably right where he wants to be with that. So we got Hardcastle from Williston at 2:07.53. Then it was Keller of Dickinson at 2:11.93. Followed by Alex Ricks of Minot at 2:13.84. Garth Shanklin at 2:14.46. And Shabbat. His time disappeared on us. So it's probably in that 2:15, 2:16 range. So that was heat 1 of the 200-yard freestyle. Moving on to heat 2 in lane 2. Oh, looks like we're going to take a break for one of our divers. You can kind of see that on the right-hand side of your screen. I didn't catch the name. So we got a little bit different angle this year here at the PSP live stream at the Minot's Auditorium, so we can get a little better eye on the diving there. So you just did see your first diver go through. So here's that second heat of the 200-yard freestyle. Lane 2 from Dickinson, a senior, Dietrich Coleman. Lane 3 from Minot, a senior, Alex Moe. Lane 4 is Minot's junior, Alex King. Lane 5 is Dickinson senior, Trent Irwin. Lane 6 is Williston's Adam March. And in lane 7 is Minot senior, Trevor Ricks. We just saw his younger brother, Alex, win the previous heat. Looking at Alex King here, out in lane 4. He will definitely be out front of this race. He has the second fastest time in this event in the state so far this year at 1:47.61. Just 5/100ths behind his teammate Grant Schaefer at 1:47.56. Alex is a past state champion in the 500 freestyle and multiple relay teams. 2 last year and 1 previous in 2020. Alex made it through that first 100 in about 52 seconds. Now we got the rest of our competitors making that turn. That's lane 3, Alex Moe from Minot, and out in lane 5, that's Trent Irwin of Dickinson. King at 1:20.36. He puts up another 28 split. That's going to put him in that 1:48, 1:49 range. Be a good consistent time for him going into WDA in 10 days. Here's Alex King just about to touch. It's going to be a time of 1:48.32. Very solid time. I believe that is an All-State 2 time, yes. All-State 2 qualification is 1:50.13. Now finishing up, we've got our lane 5 swimmer. That's going to be Trent Irwin from Dickinson at 2:02.78, followed by Alex Moe of Minot at 2:02.80. Then it looks like Dietrich Coleman at 2:04.11 from Dickinson. Trevor Ricks of Minot at 2:07.07, and then Adam March of Williston at 2:07.22. I think all these gentlemen, except for Trevor Ricks, had qualified for state already. Dietrich Coleman was just off of it. Did he get that time today? Yes, he did at 2:04. Congratulations to Dietrich on his new qualifying time in the 200-yard freestyle. Now we have the 200-yard individual medley. So we saw the medley relay earlier where 4 swimmers swam 1 discipline each. Now we've got 1 swimmer swimming all 4 disciplines. We'll have 2 heats of this as well. In lane 1 is Minot's freshman, Ramiro Rodriguez. In lane 2 is Minot's junior, Justin Moldenauer. Lane 3 is Dickinson senior, Zachary Cagle. Lane 4 is Dickinson freshman, John Rude. Lane 5 is Williston freshman, Hunter Hart. Lane 6 is Dickinson 8th grader, Asher Ellerkamp. And in lane 7 is Williston's 8th grader, Riker Fitzgerald. So they start out with the butterfly, then they move into the backstroke, then they'll move to the breaststroke and finish up with the freestyle. A little bit different order than in the relay. The relay, of course, the backstroker needs to start in the pool, so that's why he leads off. So it goes backstroke, breaststroke, butterfly, free. And on the individual side, it goes butterfly, backstroke, breaststroke, freestyle. So John Root continues to lead through the backstroke, followed very closely by our lane 5 swimmer, That is Hunter Hart of Williston. These two freshmen battling it out. They'll probably be swimming next to each other for a few more years. Rude looking good in the breaststroke. Our lane 3 swimmer is Zach Kegel of Dickinson. So these two are stroke for stroke at the turn there. Hart in lane 5 a little bit quicker on the turn with that one. We still got Rude in lane 4 in the gray cap, and Hart in the black cap in lane 5. Let's put maybe an arm's length in between them. Now they make their final turn, or into the final discipline for the freestyle. Rude takes some space back with the freestyle. He's got the half body length now over Hart out in lane 5. Hart certainly not giving up. But it looks like we will have John Rude finishing first in this first heat of the 200 individual medley with a time of 2:21.01. State qualifying for this event is 2:23.93. And that is a new qualifying time for Mr. Rude. Congratulations to him. Second place was Hunter Hart of Wilson at 2:22.75. That meets the standard, so that's a new qualifier for Hunter as well. Our third place finisher looks to be Zach Kegel of Dickinson at 2:31.67. Then it was Asher Ellerkamp at 2:36.62. Then we had Riker Fitzgerald out lane 7 at 2:41.19. Then Moldenauer of Minot at 2:43.69, and then Ramiro Rodriguez at 2:59.50. These freshmen from Minot, a lot of them is their first year in the pool. They may have done some middle school swimming, but this is their first year of varsity action, so they're learning the ropes. So in 3-4 years, they'll be out here improving their times. So congratulations again to John Rude and Hunter Hart for their new state qualifying times in the 200-yard individual medley. That'll get them at the state meet, which will take place in 3 weeks. 2.5 weeks at the West Fargo Hobart Aquatic Center. Very nice dive we just saw in the background. Scores a 6.5, 6.5, and a 7. I believe that was Cody Kranz from Minot, one of the senior captains. Okay, now heat 2 of this 200-yard individual medley. In lane 2 for Minot, sophomore Matt Bowen. Lane 3 is Wilson's freshman Camden Ekblad Lundby. Lane 4 is Minot's Jackson Ranke. Lane 5 is Minot's Logan Hill. Lane 6 is Minot's Levi Von Boker, and lane 7 is Dickinson's Dawson Wilson. We'll see Dawson on the diving boards today as well. Ranke, Jackson Ranke in lane 4 for Minot is one of the top times in this event in the state this year. I think he trails Wilson's Colden Kringen by just a fraction of a second. Looks like Colden's from a couple different events today. We'll see him out later. He's a past individual medley state champion. Ranke into the backstroke. Couple body length lead over the field. We'll get you abreast on the field in just a minute here. Ranke makes he's in the second half of his backstroke. So we got it real tight here in lanes 2, 5, and 6. Lane 2 is going to be 2 is Bowen of Minot, then it's Ekblad Lundby of Wilson in lane 3. Out in lane 6 going to be our next swimmer to touch. That's Von Bokern of Minot, and then Logan Hill of Minot inside him in lane 5. Once again, lane 1 is closest to the camera. Lane 8 is furthest away. So looks like we're losing them a little bit on their turns. See if we can adjust the camera. Jackson Ranke is over halfway through his breaststroke. The rest of the swimmers are making their turn into that second half of the breaststroke as well. This may give us a little better shot of some of the turns taking place down at this end of the pool. Ranke into his freestyle. He's making the turn now. Next swimmer is out in lane 5. That is Logan Hill. He made up a lot of ground on that breaststroke. We mentioned him earlier in that medley relay, his specialty. Then we've got Von Bokern out in lane 6. Then it's going to be our lane 3 swimmer, Ekblad Lundby of Williston. So it is Renke touching at a time of 2:01.70. Then Logan Hill at 2:12.11. Then Ekblad Lundby at 2:13.65. Von Bokern's time did not register. Now he's at 2:12.84. Then Ekblad Lundby moves to fourth at 2:13.65. Then it's Matt Bowen at 2:15.77. And Dawson Wilson at 2:18.87. Next event in the pool will be the 50-yard freestyle. We're going to have 6 heats of this. They move rather quickly. We just say that looked like Ty Ross going into the pool off the diving board over in the background. After the 50 free, we'll zoom the camera in on the diving itself, and we'll see if we can get you some good video of those divers this afternoon. 2:01.70 for Renke in the 200 IM. This is the first heat of 50-yard freestyle. Lane 1, Jacob Root of Dickinson. Lane 3, Pete Hardcastle of Williston. Lane 4, Andrew Moe of Minot. Lane 5, Caden Gutnick of Minot. Lane 6, Justice Amsbury of Minot. Lane 7, Logan Greenlee of Minot. Lane 3, we got our lane 6 and 7 swimmers. That looks like Amsbury, or 5 and 6. Looks like it is Justice Amsbury, a freshman from Minot, touching first in this heat at 30.67 seconds, followed by Gutnick at 31.42. Then it was Hardcastle at 31.67. Jacob Rood at 32.59. Andrew Moe at 33.52. And then Greenlee at 34.04. Heat 2 on the blocks. Amsbury cut about a little over a second in his heat, so that's a good swim for the freshman there. Heat 2 is lane 2, Maroney Hill of Minot. Lane 3, Tyler Burns of Minot. Lane 4, Ben Harris of Minot. Lane 5, Davion Bobo of Minot. Lane 6 is Braden Baldwin of Minot. And lane 7 is Williston swimmer Ryder Bjerknes. We've got Ben Harris, a freshman from Minot, leading the way in lane 4. Looks like he's going to come in and touch at 27.12. That is going to be a 1.08 second time cut for Ben. Very nice swim for him. Ben also was on the cross-country team this year and competed at the state meet for the cross-country team this fall. Nice to see Ben in the pool, keeping those lungs in good shape. So we got Harris at 27.12, followed by Hale at 29.85, then Burns at 29.97. Bjerknes at 32.45, and Baldwin at 32.85. Looks like might be some touchpad issues out in lane 5. Didn't see a time for Bobo from Minot. But we will move on to heat 3. Waiting for a dive to take place. Good looking dive in the air. He didn't quite get to vertical on the entry. Fans showing him some appreciation. So heat 3 of the 50-yard freestyle. Lane 2 will be Minot's Otto Williamson. Lane 3 is Minot's Isaiah Barthnick. Lane 4 is Minot's Alex Vecchio. Lane 5 is Minot's Lawson Shanklin, one of our seniors tonight. Lane 6 is Dickinson's Mason Piatz, and lane 7 is Minot's Derek Oswald. So we've got a scratch of Mason Piatz out in lane 6. Really tight race here. Looks like we've got our lane 3 swimmer. That's going to be Isaiah Barthnick of Minot, just in front of Alex Vecchio in lane 4. But Vecchio with a nice turn gets back into the lead. They're bringing it in for this short 50-yard dash. And it is going to be Vecchio at 26.61. Once again, state qualifying time is 25.46. So it's Vecchio at 26.61, Barthnick at 27 flat, 27.40 for Williamson, 27.61 for Derek Oswald, and then Lawson Shanklin at 28.39. We got the Shanklin twins. I know there's a couple Ricks on the Minot team. Dickinson's got a couple brothers. Wilson has the Hardcastles. Dickinson has the Roods. This is Heat 4, Lane 2, Dickinson's Shane Janis. Lane 3 is Wilson's Hunter Haugen. Lane 4 is Minot's Jamison Donahoe. Lane 5 is Aiden Rothstein of Dickinson. Lane 6 is Davin Haig of Dickinson. And lane 7 is Minot's Gannon Cowper. Gannon, one of our seniors that will be honored later on tonight. First touch goes to Jamison Donahoe in lane 4 at 25.71. Then it was Rothstein at 26.05. Haugen at 26.26. Prestwich, that would be, he wasn't on our list here, but probably Aaron Prestwich at 26.31. He's got a brother Alex, we'll see later. Davin Haig at 26.73. Gannon Cowper at 26.74. And Shane Janis at 26.85. Heat 5 with a 50-yard freestyle. In lane 2 is Wilson's Ethan Babcock. Lane 3, Minot's senior Tristan Lays. Lane 4 is Minot's freshman Carter Larson. Then it's Minot's senior Griffin Osborne in lane 5. Max Hale from Minot in lane, a sophomore in lane 6. And then in lane 7 is Minot junior Caden Dodds. Looks like we're gonna might be see Griffin Osborne in lane 5 here. He can get that touch, and he does at 23.85. The only one in this heat who had not qualified for state was Ethan Babcock in lane 1, so he swims a 25.36. Is that going to be enough to get him into the state meet at 25.46? Yes, it is. Congratulations, Ethan Babcock. So we had Griffin Osborne at 23.85, Carter Larson at 23.94, Caden Dodds at 24.40, Tristan Lays at 24.52. Max Hale, 24.73, and 25.36 for Ethan Babcock. We're now moving on to our final heat, Heat 6, with this 50-yard freestyle. We got Grant Schaefer in 4 and Mason Beck in lane 5. And in lane 3 is going to be Peyton Birch. Those three guys are going to battle out. Schaefer and Beck. Many close swims throughout the last couple of years. Looks like we're going to get here. We got Grant Schaefer at 21.77. Followed by Mason Beck at 22.09. Peyton Barch at 22.16. Alex Prestwich at 23.53. Tyler Jorgensen of Wilson at 23.68. And then Ryan Hubbard of Minot at 23.91. Schaefer at 21.77. That will be his fastest time of the year this year. Still keeps him at the second fastest time in the state. I believe Ryan Elshami of Grand Forks swam a 21.75 earlier this year. But a very nice effort by Grant Schaefer. Again, one of our seniors, along with Peyton Barch, to be honored this evening. So we'll now take a break from the pool. We'll move the camera closer to the diving well. And we'll try and get, figure out who is doing the diving here. I don't have the list in my program tonight. Oh, here we go. I'll have to pay attention and see who they're announcing. Let me get you in there. Very nice looking dive. That may have been Dawson Wilson. I couldn't quite hear the name. He got an 8 and 2 7s. They'll take those 3 times by his degree of difficulty for his score. Next up on the board is Minot's Ty Ross. Ooh, a 2 somersaults for Ty Ross. Two 6.5s and a 7 for Ty on that dive. This might be Davin Haig. They're going in order of the program. Didn't quite get opened up. He got 5, 5.5, and a 6. Once again, thank you for joining us on the PSP Network for tonight's swim meet here at Magic City Campus, senior night for the boys swim team. You want to stick with PSP throughout the night. This should be over around 7 o'clock, 7:15. Then you can switch on the YouTube channel. Stick with PSP and find the Minot at Century High basketball game. The #1 Patriots hosting #3 Magicians tonight in basketball down in the capital city. We got Chuck Claremont and Scott Woodmansey on the call of that game. I know they'll be excited to bring you a highly competitive game tonight. So stick with PSP all night long tonight. We got swimming here in Minot. We've got the basketball. And we also got Nick Holberg down doing the WDA hockey tournament. That is an audio broadcast only. I believe the video of the WDA hockey tournament might be on different YouTube channel. But Nick is certainly bringing you the audio. The video version does not have announcers. So if you can somehow sync it up, or just give Nick a listen. He'll paint the picture. You won't need to see anything. Just listen to Nick. He'll paint a wonderful picture of the hockey games going on at the WDA. I believe Minot is playing right now. I'll try and get some updates for you throughout. We've got Aiden Stewart on the board right now. Aiden gets out in that 2 somersault range. Doesn't quite get to vertical. So his score is going to be, looks like 3 5s. But good height on that dive for Aiden. Good power through. Now we got Cody Kranz from Minot making our next dive. Got a 2.2 degree difficulty here for Cody. I didn't quite hear the dive, but very nice inward 1.5 somersault by Cody. Good smooth entry into the pool. His scores are a 7, a 7, and a 7.5. It's a good range. You get into those 7s, your score can really add up. Let's see what we have next on the board. This might be Jacob Rude. We saw him swim in that 50 freestyle. Diving for Dickinson High. Nice little forward dive. 5.5, 5.5, and a 5 for Jacob. Looks like Ty Ross preparing the inside board for a dive. Well, it doesn't look like it's going to be tied. We got somebody else on the board making the adjusting it back. This looks like a Dickinson diver. Might be David Haig. Four and a half, 5, and a 4.5. Next diver up is Shane Janis of Dickinson. Saw him in the pool a little bit earlier too, doing a little double duty today. If I were to guess, this will be the inward dive for Shane. There it is. We got a special guest joining us here on the PSP Network. We got Troy Barch, father of Peyton Barch. Troy, welcome to the broadcast.
Hey, thank you, Eric.
So what do you got going tonight? What's Peyton doing tonight?
Well, we just got done swimming the 53. I believe they are up again on that 200 freestyle. His hopes and dreams are that they probably take that record and push it even farther down.
So yeah, they've said, talking to Troy Barch, again, father of Peyton Barch, and we've got Peyton and Grant Schaefer and Jackson Ranke and Alex King have set 3 pool records this year so far in this pool on relays here at the Magic City campus pool. And they look like they might be trying to take, maybe lower one of those down tonight, and maybe even going after the school record. I was talking with one of the coaches prior, Coach Swartout, who actually is one of the current record holders of that 200 free relay for the school. So maybe tonight or maybe at the WDA or state meet in a couple weeks they'll get that. So anything else? How's the weather outside, Troy? I've been stuck in here all afternoon. Still snowing? Still getting cold?
It's definitely cold. Definitely cold.
It's a good night to be in the pool then, isn't it?
This pool for sure will definitely make you forget about the weather.
Definitely. It's always warm in the pools, so that's good. We had a really nice dive going out there. That was Ty Ross. You can see the crowd reacting, hear the crowd reacting to that. So we'll let these divers continue on. This might be Dawson. See if I can hear the name when they say it. Maybe this is Davin Haig. They're not going in order. I'm having trouble hearing the diving PA announcer. So Ty didn't quite get the failed dive in the last one, but he got something team video worthy at the end of the season. Davin picks up a couple 4.5s and a 4 for that dive. Next on the board is Minot's Aiden Stewart. I think maybe our order got mixed up a little bit as some of those fellows were off in the 50 freestyle, to let them maybe catch up, get in their round dives. Now we've got Aiden Stewart on the board. Aiden Stewart with an inward 1.5. We saw Cody Kranz pull that off a little bit ago. Aiden with a 6, a 5.5, and a 6. Now we've got Dawson Wilson. Looks like we're back in order of the program. That will certainly help out your announcer this afternoon. We saw Dawson Wilson swimming earlier, and now he is here on the diving board. Was that an inward 2.5? Was that 2.5 somersaults he just did? Can you count that fast? Nice dive. He had some 6.5s and a 7, looks like. Now we've got Cody Kranz coming in from Minot. Cody on the near board. Oh, he really reached back and pulled that body through. A nice finish there by Cody. He's going to get the 7 bingo, as they call it here at the diving. 3 7s. That's a couple really nice dives. He's pulled out some 7 and 7.5s in both of his last 2 dives. We'll have to check these scores later on. Cody's doing a nice job tonight. So this must be back to the top. This might be Gabe Ricks of Dickinson. The inward dive for Gabe. Got his legs nice and straight as he entered the pool. He's going to get a 5.5, a 6, and a 6. Now we have Shane Janis of Dickinson coming up. The forward dive. 4.5, 5, and 5 for Shane on that dive. Looks like next diver will be Trevor Huss of Minot. Trevor's first year of diving for the Magicians. I think he's caught on pretty well. Trevor with the inward dive. Good entry into the pool. Really churned that entry down. 5.5, 5.5, 5.5. Bingo for Trevor. Next up on the board is going to be Jake Rude, a 8th grader from Dickinson. All of our divers are from Dickinson and Minot this evening. The back dive for Jake. Jake is an 8th grader. 4.5, 4.5, and 3.5. Now we've got Ty Ross performing a dive with a 2.3 degree of difficulty. Nice looking dive by Ty. 7, 6.5, and a 7.5. Really gets that long body snapped out through that dive there for Ty. Looks like we've got Davin Haig from Dickinson, a freshman. Ooh, just a little over-rotated on that entry, but very aggressive on those somersaults for Davin. A 3.5, 4.5, and a 4.5. Now we've got Aiden Stewart with a back dive tuck. For those of you in the know, it's dive 201C. I was able to make that out. I don't know what that means, but somebody does. Aiden Stewart. A little too much rotation on it. He still gets 6.5, 5.5, and a 7.5. Now we've got Dawson Wilson of Dickinson, a senior. He's been a top 8 finisher at the state meet in the past. Did not catch what his dive was going to be. That was the same dive that Ty Ross just completed. Dawson's going to get a 6.5, a 6.5, and a 5.5. And we've got Cody Kranz. There are 6 rounds of diving this evening, I believe. I would think we probably have one more after this. I'm not quite sure. You've been keeping track of the rounds of diving, Troy? Know what round we're on?
Yeah, that I can say that I do not know the answer to that.
Well, that makes two of us. Here's Cody Kranz. Oh, just over rotation on that entry for Cody. But good height, good aggressive somersaults. 2 5.5s and a 5 for Cody.
It might help there if I had brought a pen. I could have maybe put a little Roman numerals down there. Oh, there we have one. Yeah, okay, that would help.
Our pin sponsor tonight is Blue Cross Blue Shield of North Dakota. I'd like to thank them for leaving their blue pin here for us. Making that dive there was Gabe Ricks. Coming up on the board now is Shane Janis of Dickinson. Four and a half, 5.5, and 4 for Shane on that last dive. Trevor Huss on the board for Minot. Oh, a really nice dive. Look at I think that was a new dive for Trevor. A new dive for Trevor tonight, and he just about nailed it. 5.5, 5.5. Yeah. A lot of support from his teammates and the folks in the crowd. Now we've got Jacob Root of Dickinson on the board. Nice inward somersault by Jacob. Ty Ross stepping onto the board. That was a nice entry on that, wasn't it? That was a really nice dive. 7.5, 7.5, and a 6 for Ty. We got Davin Haig of Dickinson on the board. Good inward somersault for Davin. See if the judges agree. 4.5, 4.5, and 5. Didn't quite get those legs straightened out when he entered the pool. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a Zach Burdick sighting here at the pool tonight. Bringing his daughter Charlotte to watch some swimming. This is Aiden Stewart on the board. Six and a half, 6, and a 6.5 for Aiden. Dawson Wilson. Another very nice dive. A very nice dive by Dawson. An 8, a 7.5, and a 5.5. Oh, Cody Krantz getting the slow clap here for the final dive of the evening. Oh, a 2.5 in the tuck for Cody. Doesn't quite get it all the way open, but let's see what the judges are looking at here. A 4.5, 4.5, and a 6. So that concludes our diving competition for this evening. There's going to be a little bit of a break.
If you would make your way down the stairs over there, we're going to do a senior ceremony.
All right, we'll now have our senior night ceremony. So I'll get the camera adjusted so we can see that. We've got Coach Solper. Hopefully his microphone is connected to our broadcast tonight. You'll be able to hear everything he says about these 13 young men. And I'll leave it at that, and I will be back after the senior night celebration. Thank you for joining us here on the PSP Network tonight for tonight's dual meet and senior night at the Magic City campus.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we'd like to honor our seniors and their parents. Our first senior to walk down the honor line is Gavin Copper. Gavin is the son of Frank and Michelle Cooper. Senior is Mary Hale. Old buck. Mary is the son of Herman and Lisa Hale and Andrea Bidet. Senior, Mr. Tristan Lays. Tristan is the son of Adam and Amber Lays. Senior Mo. Alex is the son of Steve and Michelle Mo. Senior Griffin Osborne. Griffin is the son of Shannon and Angie Osborne. Senior Mr. Trevor Ricks. Trevor is the son of Stephen and Heather Ricks. Senior Garth Shanklin. Garth is the son of Cliff and Jamie Shanklin. Senior Watson Shanklin. Watson is the son of Cliff and Jamie Shanklin. Senior Aiden Stewart. Aiden is the son of TJ and Melissa Stewart. First senior captain, Peyton Birch. Peyton is the son of Troy and Kim Birch. Senior captain, Kaylin Hill. Kaylin is the son of Courtney and Jessica Hill. Next up, senior captain Cody Kranz. Is the son of Marv and Jennifer Kranz. Senior captain Grant Schaefer. Grant is the son of Eric and Stacy Schaefer. To start, I'd like to extend a thank you to Coach Steckler and Coach Kemp for allowing us to honor our seniors and our parents this evening. Also, we wish the absolute best to the seniors of Williston Dickinson with the rest of your season as well. Senior parents, collectively, you guys have raised an incredible group of young men. We are so lucky that everybody on this team to have benefited from all the contributions that your kids have put forth. So thank you, parents, for raising great kids. And not only that, over the last 5 years, you parents have done so much behind the scenes stuff, things that take pressure off of me, which is really nice. So thank you for that. Just the support of not only your own son, but of all the guys on the team. Wow. I'm getting sad. Parents are absolutely incredible. Our team would be nowhere near as on. we'll have our amazing seniors and your parents turn around, and we'll do one last round of applause for you. So thank you. Pool will be open for 10 minutes. The pool is open for 10 minutes. Thank you for getting those. Begin the butterfly at 6:20. 6:20.
At Shots Crossroads, we make 8 gallons of homemade ranch dressing every day, so you can smother your dinner salad with it, dip those crispy golden french fries in it, and dunk your breaded chicken strips. You can even cover your... Wait, no. You can't put ranch on steak. Or can you? Shots Crossroads. Don't forget the ranch.
Comes back away down to Oproot, and Oproot sends it forward to Luck. Luck's got a 2-on-1 into the zone. Luck dropped it back. Morelli's in, shoots, scores! Oh, what a twisted wrister from Morelli. He made no doubt about it. Short-handed goal for the Magi. They lead 2-0.
If your eyes could talk, they'd tell you life is better with LASIK. No more reaching for your glasses. No more dry eye from overwearing your contact lenses. Right now, Bismarck LASIK is offering free consultations for LASIK procedures. Break free from the daily hassles and expenses of glasses and contacts. Life is clearly better. Book your free consultation today with Bismarck LASIK and see the difference. Call 222-2020 or schedule online at bismarcklasik.com.
Getting that perfect slice is satisfying, fulfilling, and rewarding too. But we don't do it for fun. We do it for fresh. Slice to order makes a sub above.
Life is all about moments. Big moments. Small moments. And those moments you can't put into words. It's how we at First International Bank and Trust live first and have been for more than 110 years. One customer, one family, one moment at a time. First International Bank and Trust. Live first.
The right way to top a sub is with real red wine vinegar made from red grapes and no food coloring. And the right way to film it is in slow motion. Obviously. Because authentic ingredients make a sub above.
This presentation on the PSP Network is proudly brought to you by Make sure to like and follow the PSP Network on all social media platforms. PSP Network, it's game day.
You remember where this goes?
I don't know. Are you sure it was a clicking and not a zzz, zzz?
I think your quash litter valve's stuck.
Do you even have insurance?
If we soak it, it should be good.
No matter how much you know or don't know about your vehicle, trust the experts at Tires Plus. Real answers from real mechanics.
Inspections are free to ensure your vehicle is always in peak condition.
Thinking service? Think Tires Plus.
Thanks for buying some prune.
Great smiles come from Vibetta Orthodontics. Vibetta Orthodontics is a certified Invisalign provider. Invisalign fits your budget and your lifestyle. Braces for children, teens, and adults with affordable monthly payments. Schedule your complimentary consultation and exam by logging on to VibettoOrthodontics.com or by calling 701-839-6010.
Great smiles come from Vibetto Orthodontics.
This presentation on the PSP Network is proudly brought to you by Make sure to like and follow the PSP Network on all social media platforms. PSP Network, it's game day.
Carson, timeout.
Who calls a timeout in this game?
Me, I'm icing the kicker.
Really?
It'll give us more time to talk about First Western Bank and Trust,
Like our convenient online banking.
along with smart trust service options.
All right, welcome back to this PSP live stream of the Minot High School versus Williston Dickinson double duel. We've got heat 1 of 2 of the 100-yard butterfly in the pool. Thank you for enjoying the senior night presentation along with the diving that preceded that. So right now in lane 1 is Caden Barth of Dickinson. Lane 2 is Brian Sherlock of Minot. Lane 3 is John Root of Dickinson. Lane 4 is Lawson Shanklin of Minot. Lane 5 is Williston's Zach Budd. And in lane 7 is Minot's Logan Greenlee. At the halfway point, we've got Shanklin of Minot and Rood of Dickinson in lanes 4 and 5. Just ahead of them over in lane 2 is Caden Barth of Dickinson. Looks like Barth is going to make this final turn first, followed by Shanklin and Rood. Those three are coming down to finish up this first heat of the 100-yard butterfly. State qualifying time for this event is 103.81. We're just going to miss that mark. It was Caden Barth at 105.58. Then John Root of Dickinson at 106.84. Then Lawson Shanklin of Minot at 107 even. Then it was Brian Sherlock at 112.83. He's out of Minot. And then Williston's Zach Budd at 113.36. And we've got Logan Greenlee, our sophomore from Minot, swimming this event for the first time this year. So here comes Logan finishing up. He will be touching about 138. Logan touches in a 138.49. Heat 2 with a 100-yard butterfly. Lane 2, Brayson Gilbertson of Williston. Lane 3, Oliver Rungan of Minot. Lane 4, Jackson Ranke of Minot. Then it's Colden Kringen of Williston in lane 5. Kalen Hill of Minot, lane 6. And Casey Toohey of Dickinson in lane 7. Let's look at Ranke and Kringen battling out here in lanes 4 and 5. Rungan will be right there with them as well. Ranke off to a very nice start. He's got a half a body length on Kringen, about a quarter body length on Rungan next to him in lane 3. Ranke makes the first turn. Rungan and Kringen right by his side. Again, about a half body length on each of the swimmers now. He's making some ground up in the pool here. Now another turn. Ranke at the halfway point at 25.09, followed by Rungan at 26.15 and Kringen at 26.46. Ranke expands that lead to a full body length. Rungan and Kringen are stroke for stroke coming in, looking at that second spot in this heat. Ranke makes his final turn. Then it's Kringen and Rungan again making that turn simultaneously. Ranke's going to come in the mid-50s here. He's making his final stroke. He's touching at 54.05 for Jackson Ranke. His lead time coming into this heat was 54.08, so he cuts 0.03. He's followed by Colden Kringen at 56.74. A little bit of a time cut for our ad, actually just a tish of an ad for him. Then it was Oliver Rungan at 58.16 in third place of that heat. Then we had Kalen Hill at 1 minute, 0.4. Gilbertson at 104.32 and Casey Toohey at 105.02. Now moving on to the 100-yard freestyle. There will be 5 heats of this event. First heat, 3 swimmers. Lane 3, 8th grader from Williston, Tyler Sorensen. Lane 4 is Minot's Tyler Burns. And lane 5 is Nathaniel Zayman from Minot. Both those Minot swimmers are freshmen. We've got Tyler Burns leading the way off the blocks. State qualifying time in this event is 56.68 seconds. All-state 2 time of 49.17 and All-state 1 of 48.20. Now those All-state times in swimming, it's a little bit different than other sports. You usually get named to an All-state team at the end of the season. I know in track and cross country it's done by placing, and in swimming it's done by time and time only. And you can swim those times throughout the year and earn those All-state 1 and All-state 2 honors. And that butterfly in All-state 1 time is 54.08, and Jackson Ranke swam a 54.06, so he's got an All-state 1 time. Congratulations to Jackson. And you do it by event. Each event has its own times. So we've got this first heat of the 100 freestyle finishing up. We've got Tyler Burns in lane 4 for Minot coming in. He's going to touch in that 1:09.24. Then it's Nathan Zayman at 1:12.33. And then we'll have Tyler Sorensen of Williston finishing up here in just a moment. Again, a couple first-year swimmers on the varsity team for the Magicians with Burns and Zayman. Sorensen finishes up at 1:33.37. Heat 2, 100 freestyle. Lane 2, Otto Williamson of Minot. Lane 3, Brandon Shabbat of Minot. Lane 4, Isaiah Barthnek of Minot. Lane 5 is Dickinson's Mason Piatz. And lane 6 is Williston's Riker Fitzgerald. And lane 7, his teammate, Ryder Bjerknes. Check 1, 2. The second heat, we've got Shabbat in lane 3 leading the way, followed closely by Barthnick of Minot. Then we got out in lane 6 is Fitzgerald of Williston. So touching with a time of 1 minute, 0.50 seconds is Brandon Shabbat of Minot. Then it's Isaiah Barthnick at 101.23, Fitzgerald at 102.23, and Williamson of Minot at 104 even. Then we've got Bjerknes of Wilson touching in at 116.83. That is heat 2 of 5 for the 100-yard freestyle. Here comes heat 3. Lane 2 is Tavian Bobo of Minot. Then it's Alex Ricks of Minot. Hunter Hart of Williston in lane 4 and Nathan Hill of Williston in lane 4. Then in lane 6 is Minot's Garth Shanklin, and lane 7 is Minot's Alex Vecchio. Again, a bit of a build up to this final heat of this race. We saw them race earlier today in the 50, where Mason Beck was the second place winner at the state swim meet last year, the 50 free. And then last year at the state meet in the 100-yard freestyle, this event, Mason Beck was second and Grant Schaefer was third. They will be racing each other later on this afternoon in just 2 heats. So right now we've got our lane 3 swimmer. That is Hunter Hart of Williston. Or excuse me, Alex Ricks of Minot. Alex is a sophomore here in lane 3. Up in lane 6, we've got Garth Shanklin of Minot. About a half body length over the field, and that field is including, like I said, Alex Ricks. And we've got Nathan Hill of Williston coming on in lane 5. But it looks like Shanklin is going to hold on to this heat victory with a time of 57.84, followed by Hill of Williston at 58.19. Then it was Ricks of Minot at 58.62. We had Hunter Hart at 59.27, and then Alex Vecchio at 1 minute, 0.16. A couple of these guys getting under the 1 minute mark for the first time today. One of them being Garth Shanklin, cutting almost over 2 seconds. Here is heat 4 or 5. Lane 2, Zach Cagle of Dickinson. Lane 3, Hunter Haugen of Williston. Lane 4 is Minot's Tristan Lays, one of our seniors who was honored this evening. Caleb Osborne from Williston is in lane 5. Then it's Charlie Hardcastle of Williston in lane 6. And Aaron Presswich of Minot in lane 7. Leading the way is Tristan Lays into that first turn, followed very closely by Caleb Osborne of Williston. Of Williston. Coming at the halfway point, looks like Lays is going to hang on to a slight lead at 25.71 over 25.91 of Osborne. Then it's Cagle of Dickinson, Hardcastle of Williston, Haugen of Williston. Not getting the time registered down here in lane 2. So with 25 yards to go, we still have Tristan Lays leading the way, followed closely by Caleb Osborne of Williston in lane 5. Lays doing a very nice job holding them off. He's going to finish up here with a time of 53.13. All these swimmers have qualified for state at this time in this heat. Since we didn't have our lane 7 swimmer, Aaron Presswich. Now we're moving on to heat 5. Lane 2 is Camden Ekblad Lundby of Williston. Lane 3, Tyler Jorgensen of Williston. Lane 4 is Minot's Grant Schaefer. Lane 5 is Mason Beck of Dickinson. And then Alex Prestwich of Minot in lane 6. And Ethan Babcock of Williston out in lane 7. Once again, Schaefer and Beck battled in this event at the state meet last year, with a second for Beck and third for Schaefer. Of course, the state record was set in this event by Eric Anderson, swimming for the Fargo South Shanley Bruins. He's now swimming at the South Dakota State University. But here we've got Grant Schaefer in lane 4, off to a nice start. He's got Mason Beck out to his left, just above him in lane 5. Schaefer making the first turn. Good breakout for Grant. Moving into this halfway point at the 50-yard mark. Beck with a nice stroke. They're going to be really tight on this turn. It's going to be Schaefer at 22.81 and Beck at 23.25. Coming into the final turn, Schaefer continues to lead. Then it's about a half body length on Mason Beck. Schaefer's going to see if he can hold him off here. See what kind of time they can put up this afternoon. We've got Grant Schaefer coming in. He's going to touch in this lead. He's going to be in a time of 48.11. Then it's Mason Beck at 49.07, followed by Tyler Jorgensen at 51.99. Then Alex Prestwich at 52.89. Ekblad Lundby at 53.38. And Ethan Babcock at 54.14. So your winner of the 100-yard freestyle, representing the Minot High Magicians, honored earlier tonight as a senior, is Grant Schaefer with a time of 48.11 seconds. Next event will be the 500-yard freestyle. We have 2 events of the 500-yard freestyle. That 48.11 time by Schaefer is an All-State 1 time. The 49.07 by Beck is an All-State 2 time. The rest of the times in this heat do meet the state qualifying standard. Congratulations to Grant and Mason on their performances this evening, getting those All-State 1 and 2 honors. Here we go, up on the blocks, the 500-yard freestyle, 20 laps in this race. See down at the right hand of your screen, see a few swimmers on their knees. Those are their teammates, help counting the laps for them so they can concentrate on the swimming and the stroke. And those folks will help them with the laps. So in lane 1, we've got Ramiro Rodriguez of Minot. In lane 2 is Braden Baldwin of Minot. Lane 3 is Derek Oswald of Minot. Lane 4 is Connor Shaw of Minot. In lane 6, Andrew Moe of Minot. Then out in lane 8 is Elliot Mertz of Dickinson. And then lane 7 from Minot is Caden Gutnick. All those Minot swimmers are freshmen. Elliot Mertz from Dickinson in lane 6 is an 8th grader. All right, we're just finishing up this first heat of the 500-yard freestyle. Had the cowbell going off in the back. That meant 2 more laps for our swimmer in lane 4. That's Connor Shaw of Minot. They get pretty spread out through this. That's why we got the lap counters here at the right-hand side of the pool. But we got Connor Shaw in the middle coming in. State qualifying time for this event is 5:44.65. Connor Shaw will finish up with a time of 6:31.11. Excuse me. That's Derek Oswald at 6:31.11. Then Connor Shaw at 6:35.63. See them down there celebrating. This is a victory. These young freshmen probably getting baptized a little bit with this 500-yard freestyle. Everybody gets swimming at least once a year. We just had Andrew Moe finish up in 6:51.41. Then Braden Baldwin at 6:52.43. Elliot Mertz, at 6:59.00. Gutnick at 6:58.78. And we've got Ramiro finishing up here down in lane 1. So as we're finishing up this first heat, we'll have set you up for the second heat. In lane 1 will be Trevor Ricks of Minot. Lane 2 is Adam March of Williston. Lane 3 is Trent Irwin of Dickinson. Rodriguez finishes up at 7:18.96. Great swim for him. Again, everybody gets to do it once a season, and a little baptism here. But we've got heat 2 on the blocks. Trevor Ricks from Minot in lane 1. Adam March from Williston in lane 2. Trent Irwin from Dickinson in lane 3. Ryan Hubbard of Minot lane 4. Levi Von Bokern of Minot in lane 5. Alex Moe of Minot in lane 6. And Alexander Keller of Dickinson in lane 8. We've got Keller and Ricks have not qualified for state in this event, so we'll keep our eyes on lane 1 and lane 7 if they can get down to that 5:44.65 state qualifying mark. In lane 4 is Ryan Hubbard of Minot. He comes in with a seat time of 5:15.3. That's probably putting him in the top, I'd say, 5 to 10 swimmers in the state right now in this event. Then to his right is Levi Von Bokern. He's coming in with a seat time of 5:23.65. On the inside of Hubbard in lane 3 is Trent Irwin of Dickinson coming in at a 5:25.30. Then we'll have Alex Moe coming in at 5:39.59. He's up in lane 6. Then down in lane 2 is Adam March coming in at 5:43.15. He just met that qualifying standard at the Century Invite 2 weekends ago, I believe. PSP was on the call that day as well. We got Hubbard looking good as he's finishing up his first 125 yards. He'll be coming in at the 150 mark here. That's Hubbard in lane 4 for Minot. Find any hockey scores there for us, Troy? How the WDA went? You got any nephews playing out in the East in their tournament this weekend? My sidekick, Troy Barch, concentrating on getting some scores from around the state for us from some other events going on right now. We've got the WDA hockey tournament being broadcast audio only on the PSP network. Nick Holberg, your host there. Like I said earlier, he'll paint you the picture. You don't necessarily need to see the video. Then we've got PSP crew at the Minot Century basketball game tonight taking place at the Century High School. Chuck Claremont and Scott Woodmansey, hashtag suitcase violation, taking care of that broadcast for the PSP network this evening. Hubbard looking very smooth out in lane 4. Not quite sure where he's at for laps right now. He's at a 2:32.49, so he's probably at the halfway mark right now, or just over. My guess is he's got myself in a little bit of a crow's nest tonight, and I'm not able to see the boards that the lap counters are using, but I believe that one said 11 to go. or that he's finished 11, so that would be 9 to go. So now he's at 8 laps to go for Hubbard. That's the 200 freestyle, which he is also familiar with. He's at 3:05.41. Then it's going to be Von Bokern at 3:12.51 at that time check. Next time check is Trent Irwin at 3:16.98. Well, they don't have the scores updated on that website either. Still efforting to get you some hockey scores. The Minot Magicians were playing at 5 o'clock tonight. That game might be getting near the end, probably in the third period. We've got Ryan Hubbard continue to lead this race. He's 4:11.34 at that time check. We did not hear the bell. So I think he'll touch here, turn when he goes down. Yep, I see our starter, Brandy Clark, bringing the bell down to lane 4. Hubbard will have 50 yards to go after his next turn. There you go, you can hear the bell in the background. They lost. We got a score update from the West Region Boys Hockey Tournament in the quarterfinal this evening. We have 7th seeded Botno Rugby squad with a victory over the Minot Magicians. Final score of 3-2. Hubbard finishes up. Sorry about that break, but Hubbard at 5:13.51. He lowers his seed time in this event. Then we had Von Bokern at 5:26.06. Looked like that added a couple seconds for Levi. Trent Irwin at 5:35.66. Then it was Alex Moe at 5:46.21. Adam March at 5:50.54. Alex Keller at 6 minutes, 0.3, and Trevor Bricks at 6:02.26. That brings us to the end of the 500-yard freestyle. Next event will be the boys' 200-yard freestyle relay. That's 4 swimmers of each team swimming 50 yards. So we've got 2 heats of this. Heat 1 will be Dickinson C, Ricks, Rude, Mert, and Ellerkamp. Lane 3 is Magicians F. Cody Kranz, Trevor Huss, Ty Ross, and Aiden Stewart. Those names might sound familiar from our diving competition. We've got a divers relay in lane 3 for Minot High. Then lane 4 is going to be Williston B, Hunter Hart, Riker Fitzgerald, Charlie Hardcastle, and Adam March. Lane 5 is Magicians D, Isaiah Barthnick, Lawson Shanklin, Brandon Shabbat, and Otto Williamson. In lane 6 is Magicians E, Tavian Bobo, Tyler Burns, Logan Greenlee, and Ramiro Rodriguez. Ramiro have a little bit of recovery time from that 500 freestyle he just finished up. Then we'll move into the second heat of the 200 free relay. Looks like we're getting everybody lined up near the blocks so we can get this first heat underway. We've got 4 events left in the pool. This 200 free relay, followed by the backstroke. We'll have 3 heats of that. Then the breaststroke, 3 heats. And finally the 400 free relay. And we'll have 3 heats of that as well. So, heat 1. $7:30. Let's see, so we've got waiting here on our start. Looks like she's up in the block now getting ready. I hear the whistle. First heat is in the pool. Swimmers in the pool, Gabe Ricks in lane 1 for Minot. Lane 2 is Cody Kranz for Williston. Lane 4 is Hunter Hart. Minot in lane 5 is Barthnick. And Minot lane 6 is Bobo. Next swimmers are in the pool. The first one in is lane 4. That is Riker Fitzgerald of Williston. We've got up in lane 6, we've got Minot E team. That is Tyler Burns. Looks like he's got a little bit of a lead coming in this next turn. Then lane 5 is going to be Lawson Shanklin. Lane 3 from Minot is Trevor Huss. Lane 2 for Dickinson is Jacob Rude. We got everybody accounted for now. The next group is in the pool. That's Williston swimmer in lane 4, Charlie Hardcastle. Out in lane 6 from Minot is going to be Logan Greenlee. In lane 5 from Minot is going to be Brandon Shabbat. In lane 3 for Minot is going to be Ty Ross. And in lane 2 for Dickinson is Elliot Mertz. Wilson's coming in for their last exchange in this 4x50 yard relay. Into the pool now for Williston lane 4 is Adam March. Into the pool for Minot. Coming up here in lane 5 is Otto Williamson. In lane 3 for Minot is Aiden Stewart. Putting on a good effort there. You know, Coach Solper talked about that during his talk about these seniors and the divers, how they're in the pool. They're working on their diving, but they're also in the pool swimming with the swimmers. And Aiden Stewart doing a nice job there in lane 3. Up in lane 6, we've got Ramiro Rodriguez from Minot. And down in lane 2, we've got Asher Ellerkamp for Dickinson. Touching first in this heat was Minot's team, Williston B at 147.11. And it was Minot F at 152.19. Those were the divers, folks. Then we've got Minot D at 153.88. All right. Final heat of the 200 free relay. In lane 2 is Dickinson B. Lane 3 is Minot B. Lane 4 is Minot A. Lane 5 is Dickinson A. Lane 6, Williston A. Lane 7, Minot C. This Minot team consisting of Grant Schaefer, Alex King, Jackson Ranke, and Peyton Barch. They currently have the pool record in this event at 129.57. Little rumblings about maybe going for a school record of 127.33. Not sure if that's in the cards tonight, but maybe later this year at WDA or at state. Dickinson in lane 5 is going to be Dawson Wilson, Trent Irwin, Dietrich Coleman, and Mason Beck. That is a fine team put together as well. Those are all seniors. In lane 3 for Minot is Alex Prestwich, Tristan Lays, Trevor Ricks, and Levi Von Bokern. Lane 6 for Wilson is Colden Kringen. We talked about him a little bit earlier in the butterfly. Ethan Babcock, then Camden Ekblad Lundby, and Tyler Jorgensen in lane 6 for Williston. In lane 7 for Minot is Alex Ricks, Alex Vecchio, Garth Shanklin, and Alex Moe. Couldn't find another Alex. We couldn't use Alex Prestwich in that relay to have the all-Alex relay, but he will be swimming the first leg in lane 3. Then for Dickinson in lane 2, it's Zach Kogel, Shane Janis, Aiden Rothstein, and Caden Barth. 200-yard freestyle relay is in the pool. First leg swimmers, that's Grant Schaefer for Minot in lane 4. He's out to an early lead. He makes his turn. Body length over the field after that turn. Grant will bring it in. We'll see what kind of split we can get for him. Making the exchange for Minot lane 4 is Alex King coming up next. So Schaefer touches in 22.18. Then we got King in the pool in lane 4. Then we've got lane 3 for Minot's Tristan Lays, lane 5 for Dickinson Trent Irwin, lane 6 for Williston Ethan Babcock. See what kind of split we can get for King here. King touching. Now in the pool for Minot is Jackson Ranke. King with a 21.76 split, 43.94 for the team. Then they're followed by Williston out in lane 6. Then it was Minot in lane 3 and Dickinson in lane 4. Ranke making quick work of his 50 yards here in this relay. See what kind of split we can get on Jackson as he comes in. He's coming in. That is Peyton Barch in the pool now. Ranke with a 22.10 split. Now Peyton Barch. I know he would love to get under that 22-second split. It's just Peyton and the clock at this point in time. Out in lane 6, we've got Williston. We've got Mason Beck putting pressure on Williston in lane 5 there. Peyton's coming in. Peyton's going to touch. He's going to touch in a split of 21.57. a team time of 127.61, and that is going to be just short of the school record of 127.33. What a great effort by these guys, but they do lower their pool record from 129.57 set back on December 17th to a 127.61. Congratulations go to Grant Schaefer, Alex King, Jackson Ranke, and Peyton Barch for another pool record set in this 2022 season. Second in this event ended up with Williston at 134.57, then Dickinson at 136.11. Then it was Minot B at 139.28, Minot C at 147.94, and Dickinson B at 148.96. Once again, we just witnessed another pool record set by these four young men. They're getting that announcement right now. Crowd rises. Just a bit short of the school record set in 2014. And as I mentioned earlier, one of the swimmers on that team is one of the assistant coaches now, Ryan Swartout. So he was telling me before the meet he's had a real good time coaching these young men, and his first year as an assistant coach here with the Magicians, and how much fun he's had, and what a wonderful team it's been that he's been able to coach with this year. So long-time coaches Ken Disher and Jake Solper, and I think Peyton Huss is in his third year of as an assistant coach. So we'll be moving on to the 100-yard backstroke. I'll quit babbling about the coaching staff, but we've got three heats of this backstroke. In heat one, it's going to be Nathan Zayman of Minot in lane 2, then Bryson Gilbertson in lane 3 from Williston, Aiden Rothstein from Dickinson in lane 4. In lane 5 is Caden Barth of Dickinson. Lane 6 is Dickinson's Elliot Mertz. In lane 7 is Williston's Tyler Sorensen. Those folks will enter the pool and then get ready for the start of this backstroke. We'll have 3 heats today. Our final heat will consist of Peyton Barch with a 55.85. That is one of the top times in this event. One of the top 3 times in the state so far this year. He'll be flanked by Carter Larson in lane 5 and Kalen Hill in lane 3. Minot swimmers. Logan Hill will be out in lane 6 and Max Hale will be in lane 7. Then Williston swimmer Caleb Osborne will be in lane 2. But let's turn our attention back to heat 1 of the 100-yard backstroke. 4 laps. 100-yard backstroke is underway. Again, lane 2 is Minot's Zayman. Lane 3 is Williston's Gilbertson. Lane 4 is Dickinson's Rothstein. Lane 5 is Dickinson's Barth. Then it's Dickinson's Mertz in 6 and Williston Sorensen in lane 7. State qualifying for this event is 106.86. Got an outside shot with Aiden Rothstein in lane 4 and maybe Gilbertson or Barth getting that mark. They came in at 109 and 110 respectively. So they can get a good time cut here. They might punch their ticket to the state meet and march 4th and 5th at the Hobart Aquatic Center in West Fargo. Right now leading this race in lane 3 is Brayson Gilbertson of Williston. He is one of the young men that has an outside shot at getting that state qualifying time. He's going to have to put the hammer down these last 20 yards. Let's see if he can do that. Our lane 6 swimmer is getting a little bit of effort up there. That's Caden Barth of Dickinson. He's taking the lead here from Gilbertson. So it's going to be Barth touching at 112.66, followed by Gilbertson at 113.02. Then it was Rothstein at 114.44. Those 3 finish up. Now finishing up in lane 2 is Nathan Zayman of Minot. It's going to be about a 128.63. We've got Mertz of Dickinson just finishing up here. We'll get a time for him. And then Sorensen of Williston will be finishing up after him. So we've got Mertz touching at 142.18. And now we'll have Sorensen finishing up out in lane 7. He'll end up right around that 2-minute mark, it looks like. Hopefully under that. Good finish here for Tyler. He's getting one more stroke in and a touch. He's going to finish at 158.53. Nice race for Tyler. Heat 2. Lane 2 is Dickinson's Casey Toohey. Lane 3 is Jamison Donahoe of Minot. Lane 4 is Minot's Caden Dodds. Lane 5 is Minot's Gannon Kelper. Lane 6, Nathan Hill of Williston. Lane 7, Zach Budd of Williston. We've got 3 state qualifiers in this event. That's Donahoe, Dodds, and Kelper. Hill, very close. Toohey. Hill at a 107 coming in, Toohey at a 108, and Budd at a 109. So those 3 certainly have an opportunity to get to that 106.86 time this afternoon. Or this evening now. We've got our lane 2 swimmer. That looks like, lane 3 swimmer, Jamison Donahoe of Minot. He's followed closely by Dodds in lane 4, Kelper out in lane 5, and even Toohey down in lane 2. Up in lane 6 and 7, it's Nathan Hill and Zach Budd respectively, both Williston swimmers. At the halfway point, it is Jamison Donahoe at 31.24, then Dodds at 31.51, Kelper at 31.95, Toohey at 32.97. Then it was Hill at 33.24 and Budd at 34.49. Those 3 Minot swimmers in the middle of the pool, stroke for stroke as they come out of that last turn. We'll let those 3 take us home. We've got Donahoe in 3, Dodds in 4, and Kelper in 5. Kelper looks like it may be my angle, but it looks like he maybe have about half a stroke on those gentlemen. It is going to be Gannon Kelper at 105.83. It was Jamison Donahoe out-touched in lane 3 at 105.83. Then it was Kelper at 105.96. Dodds at 106.31. Toohey at 107.48. Hill at 108.42, and Zach Budd at 110.57. Now we're moving to that final heat we spoke of earlier. We've got Peyton Barch leading the way in lane 4 with a 55.85. All-state 1 time is 55.02. Barch has met the All-state 2 time of 56.12, A couple other guys, Kalen Hill and Carter Larson, looking to get under that 60-second mark this evening. Quick start for Barch out in lane 4. Good underwater for him. He's followed very closely in lane 5 by Carter Larson. Carter is a freshman on the team. Barch with a good turn. He's got about an arm's length over Larson out in lane 5. Then about a half body length on Hill down in lane 3. At the halfway point, it's Peyton Barch at 27.83, Carter Larson at 28.47, Kalen Hill at 29.13, Logan Hill at 30.03, Caleb Osborne from Wilson at 30.59, and Max Hale of Minot at 30.94. So we got Barch bringing it in. He's got the last 12 and a half yards to go here. See what kind of time he can put up here. Going to have a little bit of an ad, but a nice swim for Peyton Barch today. He's going to touch at 57.49. Carter Larson at 59.99, just under that 60-second mark. And Kalen Hill with a heartbreaker at 1 minute, 0.60 seconds. That was right near his seed time coming to this as well. Hill was at 1 minute, 0.57. Fourth place was Osborne at 102.72. Then it was Logan Hill at 103.97. 103 even was Max Held and Logan Hill at 103.97. The Hill brothers, 3rd and 6th respectively in this event. Moving on, it'll be the 100-yard breaststroke. We'll have 3 heats. First heat, lane 3 for Minot sophomore Brian Sherlock. Then it's Moroni Hale, a senior. We honored him earlier tonight in lane 4 for Minot. Then it's Connor Shaw of Minot in lane 5, a freshman. And then Williston 7th grader Pete Hardcastle. I'm assuming Charlie Hardcastle would be his older brother that swam earlier for Dickinson. That's a senior. Three heats of this 100-yard breaststroke. In from Bismarck, the junior varsity game, 69-58, won by Century High's JV. Young men are shaking hands. That tip-off on PSP Network will probably be in about 25-30 minutes, so tune in. You'll have Chuck Claremont and Scott Woodmansey taking you through that game tonight. First heat of the 100 breaststroke again. Sherlock in 3, Hale in 4, Shaw in 5, and Hardcastle in 6. We got Moroni Hale is going to make the turn just a touch ahead of both Sherlock and Shaw, which are flanking him in lanes 3 and 5 respectively. And we've got Hardcastle out in lane 6. We had a scratch in lane 3 by Sherlock. Excuse me. Nope, we've just got the 3, 4, 5, and 6. I'm sorry. Been looking at a lot of numbers, a lot of names today. I always get a little punchy in these last couple events. So we've got Moroni Hale leading the way at the halfway point, followed by Connor Shaw, then Brian Sherlock, and Pete Hardcastle out in lane 6 for Williston. Hale touches first, but a nice surge into the wall there by Connor Shaw of Minot. Good turn by Hale, puts a little more space in there. But Shaw in the water is making up some ground. This is going to be really tight touch in this heat 1 at the wall for these two Minot swimmers. Connor Shaw in lane 5, Moroni Hale in lane 4, and it is going to be Shaw touching at 123. Excuse me, it's going to be Moroni Hale touching at 123.57 and Shaw at 123.61. He may have had a light touch on the board. Then it's followed by Sherlock at 128.01 and then Hardcastle at 138.12. That completes heat 1 of 3 and the 100-yard breaststroke. Heat 2 will be Justin Moldauer of Minot in lane 2, Benjamin Harris of Minot in lane 3, Asher Ellerkamp of Dickinson in lane 4, Aaron Prestwich of Minot in lane 5. Then it's Justice Amsbury of Minot in lane 6 and Gabe Ricks of Dickinson in lane 7. Got some youngsters in this heat. Moldenauer is a junior, Harris a freshman, Ellerkamp an 8th grader, Prestwich a freshman, Amsbury a freshman, and Ricks of Dickinson an 8th grader. We've got some Ricks swimmers in both Dickinson and Minot's team today. We've got a couple Prestwiches swimming, so we've got Aaron in this heat, the younger of the two. Alex is a junior. We saw him swim earlier in some relays and some freestyle events. So we've got heat 2 of the 100-yard breaststroke out in lane 3. That is Ben Harris of Minot putting on a little bit of effort in that first 25 yards. He's got to his right Asher Ellerkamp of Dickinson. Then out in lane 5 is Aaron Prestwich of Minot. Oh, in lane 6, Justice Ansbury doing well. We saw him pick up a heat win earlier today. Harris making the turn first at the halfway point. It's Harris at 34.53, followed by Amsbury at 35.86. Ellerkamp at 36.33, Prestwich at 36.47, Ricks at 37.82, and Moldenauer at 38.05. Harris looking good here in heat 2 of the breaststroke. State qualifying time in this event is 1:12.35. He's about 10 seconds from that. He's going to have his work cut out for him to get there, but he's certainly getting a nice tempo going right now. Out in lane 6, Justice Amsbury is not giving up. This is going to be real tight between Harris and Amsbury, the two freshmen. Harris does touch at 1:14.69, followed by Justice Amsbury at 1:16.14. Then it was Aaron Prestwich at 1:16.91, and Asher Ellerkamp at 1:18.17, followed by Moldenauer at 1:19.85, and then Gabe Ricks at 1:23.77. Our third and final heat of the 100 breaststroke is coming up. In lane 3 for Minot is Matt Bowen. He's a sophomore. Excuse me, that was lane 2 for Matt Bowen, the Minot sophomore. Then in lane 3 is Minot's Alex King, a junior. Colden Kringen of Williston, a junior in lane 4. Oliver Rungen of junior in Minot lane 5. Griffin Osborne, a senior from Minot lane 6. And Dietrich Coleman of Dickinson in lane 7. He is also a senior. This should be a real tight match between Rungen, King, and Kringen. As they go through at the first turn, it's going to be Rungen, followed by Kringen, King, and then out in lane 6, it's Griffin Osborne as well. I would expect these four swimmers to stay pretty close. Rungen putting a little bit of space. King and Kringen are just off tempo, but they are just about stroke for stroke. King does touch a little bit earlier on the halfway point. It was Rungen at 29.44, followed by King at 30.18, then Kringen at 30.44, 31.13 for Osborne and Minot, then Bowen at 32.64, and Coleman at 33.85. with 25 yards to go. A body length lead for Oliver Rungen. A great turn by Alex King in lane 3. He's making up some space. And a good pull by Kringen in lane 4. This race is really tightening up. It's Rungen still with a bit of a lead, followed by King and Kringen. We're going to see what's going to happen here at the end. It's going to be Rungen touching at 1:03.18, followed by King at 1:03.80 and Kringen at 1:03.99. That is about as close of a race you're going to get between 3 competitors, all within 0.7 so of seconds there. Math is hard for me, folks. So we're going to move on. We're going to talk about our 4th place finisher, Griffin Osborne at 1:07.53. Then it was Matt Bowen at 1:09.80 and Dietrich Coleman at 1:12.28. All these folks had already, well, actually, they had all already qualified for state, meeting that 1:12.35. So congratulations goes up. Peridor Rungen at 1:03.18. Then it was Alex King at 1:03.80 and Colden Kringen at 1:03.99 to finish out the top 3. Top Dickinson swimmer for the dual scoring is going to be Dietrich Coleman at 1:12.28. We're in our final event of the day. There will be 3 heats of this 400-yard free relay. So we have a lot of swimmers here. We've got 4 teams in this first heat. In lane 3 in the pool, it's Minot's Andrew Moe. In lane 4, it's Minot's Connor Shaw. In lane 5, it's Wilson Zach Budd. And in lane 6, it's Minot's Justice Amsbury. Still probably catching his breath from that second heat of the 100 breaststroke, so he can keep that tempo up. So 4 lengths for each swimmer equals 100 yards. 4 swimmers times 4 is a 400-yard freestyle relay, where we'll have 4 heats of this. Coming up in our final heat, it'll be from Minot in lane 4, it'll be King, Rungen, who we just saw win the breaststroke, Ranke, and Grant Schaefer. So Peyton Barch gets a little bit of a break. He swam in the first 2 relays in high school swimming. You can swim in 2 relays and 2 individual events each meet. So Oliver Rungen will step into that 4th spot with Peyton Barch. Those 4 swimmers, Barch, Ranke, Schaefer, and King, have the pool record in this event set last week in a duel against Century at 3:16.33. So Rungen will be replacing Barch for today's event. So we've got in lane 5 is Williston C leading the way here. Swimmers in the pool right now are second swimmers in this heat. In lane 2 for Minot's Caden Gutnick. For lane 4 for Minot's Otto Williamson. Lane 5 for Wilson's Ryder Bjerknes. And then in lane 6 for Minot's Ramiro Rodriguez. So our Minot swimmer Otto Williamson put a little bit of time into Ryder Bjerknes there in that first 50 of their leg. Otto has a little bit of an overtake here over Ryder. Final turn for these 2 fellows. Coming in, we'll have some more swimmers on the blocks. We got Rodriguez for Minot out in lane 6. Up in lane 3 for Minot is currently Caden Gutnick. So bringing in his leg is Otto Williamson, lane 2 for the Magicians. Now entering the pool for the Magicians in lane 4 will be freshman Derek Oswald. We saw he and his teammates finish real close together in a race earlier today in that breaststroke, I believe it was. So that's Oswald in lane 4 for Minot. For Williston in lane 5 is Pete Hardcastle, the 7th grader. Then we've got in lane 3 for Minot is Braden Baldwin, and out in lane 6 for Minot is Logan Greenlee. And his final stretch of his leg for the Magicians in lane 4 is Derek Oswald. Seeing at our end of the pool here, that's Williston's Pete Hardcastle making his final turn. Entering the pool for Minot in lane 4 for this final leg of this heat 1 of the 400 freestyle relay is Justin Moldenauer. We saw Justin swim the breaststroke earlier today as well. Moldenauer off to a nice start. Looks like he lost his goggles. That is never fun for those swimmers. Those goggles slip down to your chin, and you're used to swimming with him on, and he tried to make an adjustment with him there. I think he pulled him even further down off of his chin. We'll adjust and battle through that. Out in lane 5 for Williston, that is Riker Fitzgerald. Swimming for them in lane 3 for Minot, we have Moroni Hale. We saw Moroni in the breaststroke just recently as well. Then up in lane 6 for Minot, finishing up is Logan Greenlee. Now in the pool in that lane for Minot is Nathan Zeman. Moldenauer fighting through, losing those goggles on that dive into the pool. So a good rule swim for him with a little bit of a wardrobe malfunction, we'll say. But Moldenauer coming in for the touch for the heat win for his team at 4:23.25. That is Minot Team H. Now we're going to have Williston up in lane 5 finishing up. That's Riker Fitzgerald, an 8th grader. He's bringing it in. Nice finish for Riker. Team finishes at 4:36.45. Then we're going to have finishing up in lane 3 for Minot is Moroni Hale. Moroni finishing up his leg. He'll be touching with a team time of 4:49.36. And then out in lane 6 finishing up for Minot is Nathan Zeman. Nathan making his final turn. And he'll get this last 25. He'll have the pool all to himself as he finishes up. You can hear him getting cheered on by some teammates in the background. As soon as Nathan finishes up, we'll be moving on to Heat 2 of this 400 freestyle relay. Team time for Minot J of 5:18.54. So Heat 2 of this relay event, we will have in lane 2 is Dickinson, Shane Janis, Gabe Ricks, Mason Piatz, and Alex Keller. Lane 3 is Minot E, Alex Ricks, Aaron Prestwich, Jamison Donahoe, and Gannon Cowper. In lane 4 is Dickinson B, Davin Haig, Aiden Rothstein, John Rude, and Caden Barth. Lane 5 is Williston B, Nathan Hill, Brayson Gilbertson, Adam March, and Hunter Haugen. In lane 6 is Minot F, Garth Shanklin, Tavian Bobo, Isaiah Barthnick, and twin brother Lawson Shanklin. Then lane 7 is Minot G, Ben Harris, Aiden Stewart, Brian Sherlock, and Brandon Shabbat. Aiden, our diver, getting on a second relay today for him. So the first swimmers of Heat 2 of the 400-yard freestyle relay are in the pool. Those swimmers are lane 2 is Shane Janis Dickinson. Lane 3 is Alice Ricks of Minot. Lane 4 is Davin Haig of Williston. Lane 6 is Williston's Nathan Hill. Then it's Minot's Garth Shanklin in lane 6. And lane 7 is Ben Harris of Minot. Leading the way right now is Minot's Team F. That is Garth Shanklin leading the way out there in lane 6. But making the comeback in lane 4 is Davin Haig of Dickinson. Even things up, and we've got our lane 2 team from Dickinson as well, making things interesting. That's Shane Janis swimming for Dickinson in lane 2. So we got Minot in 6, Dickinson in 4, and Dickinson in 2. Those three swimmers, second swimmers, are in the pool, and they are from Minot. Out in lane 5 is is Tavian Bobo. For Dickinson in lane 5, Williston in lane, Dickinson in lane 4 is going to be Aiden Rothstein, and then Dickinson in lane 2 is Gabe Ricks. Williston swimmer in lane 5 making some hay there is Brayson Gilbertson. Nathan Hill led the way out on that for the Coyotes in that first leg of this race. So we've got Dickinson in 4, Williston, Minot in 6, and Williston in 5 are our top 3 squads here in the second heat of the 400 free relay. Again, swimming for Dickinson in lane 4 is Aiden Rothstein. From Minot in lane 6 is Tavian Bobo, and for Williston in lane 5 is Brayson Gilbertson. Making the exchange to our third swimmers in lane 4. Very nice swim, cutting in some time. So in lane 4, we've got John Root of Dickinson. From Minot in lane 6, it's Isaiah Barthnick. And for Williston in lane 5, it is Adam March. Now in the pool from Minot up in lane 7 is Brian Sherlock. We saw Stewart finishing up there earlier. Down in lane 2, we've got Gabe Ricks of Dickinson. Or no, that's Piotz, excuse me. They made the exchange. So, leading this heat in lane 4 is Dickinson. That's John Rood in this third leg. Next time he's in, he'll make the exchange with Caden Barth. For Minot out in lane 6, we've got Isaiah Barthnick. He'll be making the exchange with Lawson Shanklin. And then for Williston right now, we've got Adam March. He'll be making the exchange with Hunter Haugen. In the pool in lane 4 is Dickinson's Caden Barth. Now it's Williston's Hunter Haugen and Minot's Lawson Shanklin. Those are your top 3 teams. This first 50 of their 100-yard leg. All final swimmers should be in the pool. For Minot in Dickinson lane 2, it's Alex Keller. Minot lane 3 is Gannon Cowper. And then in Minot in lane 7, it's Brandon Shabbat. But we've got Dickinson swimmer Caden Barth leading the way here in lane 4. He's making his final turn for that Dickinson squad. Finish up the second heat of the 400 free relay. Putting in a great effort in lane 5 is Hunter Haugen of Williston. He's got that to just under a body length, but it is going to be Barth of Dickinson holding on for the Dickinson team at 3:55.37, followed by Williston at 3:56.58. Then it's Minot F at 4:03.33. And just touching in is Minot E at 4:10.02. And we'll have Minot G at 4:18.13. And finishing up in lane 2 is Dickinson C. And the pool for them is Alex Keller. Coming up to our third and final heat, it'll be Magician C, Carter Larson, Griffin Osborne, Matt Bowen, and Logan Hill. Winners of this heat are Dickinson swimmers Davin Haig, Aiden Rothstein, John Rood, and Caden Barth. Back to heat 3. In lane 3, it'll be Dickinson's A, Dawson Wilson, Casey Toohey, Dietrich Coleman, and Mason Beck. We spoke a lot about Beck today. He'll be anchoring that relay for the Dickinson Midgets. In lane 4 for Magicians, it'll be Alex King, then Perdorn Rungen, Jackson Ranke, and Grant Schaefer. Then it's Magicians B in lane 5, Tristan Lays, Alex Presswich, Levi Von Bokert, and Ryan Hubbard. For Williston, in lane 6, Williston A is Charlie Hardcastle, Caleb Osborne, Colden Kringen, and Camden Ekblad Lundby. And lane 7 is Minot D, Trevor Ricks, Caden Dodds, Alex Moe, and Kaylin Hill. Our final race of the day. Heat 3, 400 freestyle relay. Alex King leading the way for the Magicians in lane 4. Off to a good start. We'll see if they've got any pool or team records in their sights today. It'll be a team of King, Rungen, Ranke, and Schaefer. King coming through that first 50 at 23.80. Then it was Minot B, followed by Dickinson A, and Williston. King makes his final turn. He's coming in. He'll be making the exchange. That'll be Perdorn Rungen making the second leg for the Magicians in this 4x100-yard relay. Dickinson and Minot B really close. Rungen is in the pool, a 50.19 split for Alex King on the 100 yards. Now we got Rungen in lane 4 for Minot, gliding through the water. We've got, for Dickinson in lane 3, we have Casey Toohey, and for Minot in lane 5, it's Alex Prestwich. No, Prestwich is battle for some relay spots at the WDA and state level as well. Prestwich looks like he's going to make that second turn a little bit, just micro ahead of the Dickens swimmer, Casey Toohey. We've got Rungen leading the way in lane 4, followed closely by Minot B and Dickinson A. That is Prestwich for Minot, Alex Prestwich, and then Casey Toohey for Dickinson. And we've got our Minot swimmers in lane we got Dietrich Coleman for Dickinson in lane 3. making some hay. We got Jackson ranking the pool for Minot now this third leg. He's powering through the water like he always does. And we've got a lane 3 Dickinson. That is Dietrich Coleman. And for Minot out in lane 5, it's Levi von Bokern. From lane 2 for Minot's Matt Bowen right now. Lane 6 for Minot. Lane 6 for Wilson is Colden Kringen. And lane 7 for Minot is Alex Moe. Ranky making his final turn. He'll be bringing home his last 25 yards. He's got Grant Schaefer on the blocks waiting to make that exchange. Von Bokern has put a little bit of distance on the Dickinson swimmer. About a half body length now for him over Dietrich Coleman, but they got Mason Beck waiting in the wings. We got Grant Schaefer in the pool for Minot right now. He's going to power through. Let's see what Minot can do for a team time here. Mason Beck enters the pool about the same time as our Williston swimmer, Ekblad Lundby. But Beck has already made that overtake, and he's got Hubbard in his sights out in lane 5 for Minot. Schaefer continues. He's got his glide through the pool. He'll have 25 yards left at his next turn. Beck has made cut a lot of the distance off Hubbard. This is going to be real close between those two coming in for the second place touch. Right now we've got Grant Schaefer coming in for Minot. Looks like there won't be any pool records, any records falling today, but Grant Schaefer finishing up with a team time for Minot of 3:22.26. Now we've got a very nice job by Ryan Hubbard holding off a charging Mason Beck in this fourth leg here. So we've got Minot B touching at 3:32, then Dickinson A at 3:33.84, then Wilson at 3:35 even, and then we will have Minot D touching at 3:46. So that'll conclude the swimming for this afternoon's program, this evening's program. We'd like to thank everybody for coming out, joining us on PSP Network for this live stream broadcast of the Minot versus Wilson and Dickinson double duel. It was senior night for Minot tonight. Took a little bit of extra time. So as we wrap up this WDA matchup, final swim meet for the Magicians at home this year, next action for these teams will be the WDA meet taking place at Mandan on Saturday, February 26th. And then the following week, March 4th and 5th, the two-day meet for the state meet will take place at the Hobart Aquatic Center in West Fargo. So PSP will be on the air for the WDA meet in Mandan. Todd Domries and myself, Eric Schaefer, will be hosting that meet. And then we'll let the NFHS take over for the state meet. But as we wrap up here, PSP fans, flip over to the next PSP channel. Watch the Century hosting Minot High Magician basketball team. Chuck Claremont and Scott Woodmansee will be bringing you that game, and we've got Nick Holberg on the audio for the WDA hockey tournament as well. Once again, thank you for joining PSP Network. Have a wonderful evening, and we'll see you on the airwaves.
This presentation on the PSP Network is proudly brought to you by Make sure to like and follow the PSP Network on all social media platforms. PSP Network, it's game day.